So let's start with the definition of stress. Stress is a heightened response to routine and out of the ordinary conditions of events. It's actually a physics term where it's talking about the load or the stress on a load-carrying member of a building. But it's been applied to our mental emotional states. And unfortunately, that heightened response results in many, many health problems, largely related to the hormones that are released as in the stress response. So according to a recent Stanford studies, there were 2 of them, between 85 and 90% of all visits to doctors are for stress-related illnesses. So I want you to hear that. Patients come to me with headaches, they come to me with fatigue, they come to me with insomnia, and never really thinking that the problem is really stress. Now, some people do come for stress. They can't live their lives, basically. But most of my stress patients do not say, I'm here for stress. They will give a whole litany of signs and symptoms, and that's completely supported by these Stanford studies. People who experience heightened levels of anxiety, 4 to 5 times more likely to have a fatal heart attack or stroke. Again, it's really hard to get our heads around that number. You know, I was a workaholic most of my life and a stress monkey, and I just, thought I was immortal, like many people do. I want you to have more sense than I did when I was younger, and I want you to start monitoring your stress levels now. It's like, oh, another 5 years and I can retire. Yeah, well, another 5 years you may have a stroke. So you want to learn how to moderate and mediate your stress and not just put it on the back burner. And again, 50% of all illnesses are directly caused by stress. And these are pre-COVID statistics. We saw a huge increase in on-the-job injuries, up to 15% more because of stress. 70% of people surveyed said they felt stressed in a typical day at work. I don't know who did that study. It was a well-done study. To me, it's about 90% of my patients. 43% surveyed said they suffered noticeable physical symptoms of burnout. They couldn't sleep. They didn't want to eat. It affected their love life. They didn't have a good relationship with their kids. And these are pre-COVID. Now we know with COVID, the opioid overdose deaths in the Bay Area are up 30%. Diagnosed anxiety and depression in children is up over 30%. And I'm bringing this up because you obviously want to take care of yourself and monitor yourself, but it's very easy to not take these kids' anxiety seriously enough. Several of the therapists that I work with work only with children. One woman brought in several people to help her, and she cannot keep up with the demand for treating anxiety in kids. Suicide deaths are up in all age groups, so please don't ignore this. To avoid stress now, to be realistic, you basically have to avoid life. Go live on a mountain somewhere and pick roots and berries. But, right? I mean, that's just where we live.